Hello. Today we'll learn on how to install a separate instance of Oracle database for BMC Client Management, and this is part 1 of the video. Let me take you through the steps in detail. In the upcoming video, we will be installing the Oracle database 19C on Windows 2019 server. The procedure will commence with the installation of the software, followed by setting up the database using the database configuration assistance. Subsequently, we'll establish the network service using the net configuration assistance. And throughout this process, we'll retrieve the detail from the tns name.ora file that gets generated in the Oracle home directory. Once completed, we will execute the script to create the BMC Client Management table space and the user to connect to it. And finally, we'll install the SQL developer to connect to the database and obtain a GUI view. So let's get started. So I have downloaded the Oracle 19C installer from the Oracle website, and it requires you to log into their website and then it will let you download their package. The SQL developer, however, is readily available on the internet, so you don't need to log into their website and download it directly. And I have also downloaded the BCM master setup for the Linux server, as we will be running the script to create the BMC Client Management table spaces through it. And this is the same setup that we will be running on a Linux server as well. Now, before you proceed with the installation, there are a few prerequisites that you need to take care of. We'll go ahead and create a Windows standard user that does not have the administrative privileges. This is the same user that will become the installation owner. Again, I'm not going to go ahead and create this within Windows Server, but during the installation of the Oracle database, it does give you an option to create this standard user. So I'm going to go ahead with that option. Next, I have created the Oracle base, setup, and BCMDB folders, and these are the path for all three. The Oracle base folder will store the Oracle software configuration related files that are installed by the installation owner, that is this owner. To the setup folder, we will be extracting the Oracle 19C setup and we will be initiating the installation through this folder itself. The BCMDB folder will come in use when you're trying to run the script to create the database table space. So the procedure is as follows. We'll initiate the installation by installing the software, followed by installing the database using the database configuration assistance. We will then create the network service with the help of the network configuration assistance. Again, while we are creating or installing the network service, we will make use of the tnsnames.ora file that gets created while installing the database. The location for the tnsname.ora file is as follows. Once that is done, we'll run the script to create the BMC client management table space and the user to connect to it. And this is the location of the bat file that we are going to run and the command that we will be executing to create the table space. Post that, we will be running this command to set the Oracle SID. This command is going to help us connect to the database, and finally we will launch the SQL developer to get a GUI view and connect to the database. Okay, so let's go ahead and click on the setup folder and launch the installer. This may take some time to initiate. We'll go ahead with the setup software only option. Click on next. Single instance database installation, enterprise edition, and here you will get an option to create the Windows user. So I click on create new Windows user and create a user. Click next. Now here I'm going to give the Oracle underscore base location. As mentioned earlier, this folder will store the Oracle software configuration related files installed by the owner. So it's performing some prerequisites and you click on install once that is done. So the installation of the software is completed. You click on close. I would also like to tell you that when you're initiating the installation, there is this command prompt that will pop up automatically, and it gives information of each steps that is being performed. So I'm going to click on close and initiate the process of installing the database now. To create the database, click on the start menu. Under Oracle Database 19 Home folder, click on Database Configuration Assistance. Go ahead with the first option to create a database and click Next. Click on Advanced Configuration and Next. Here we are going to go ahead with the default settings. So the database type is Oracle Single Instance Database and the template name is General Purpose or Transaction Processing. Click Next. Here you specify the name of the database. So the global database name will be something like a fully qualified name, and SID is a short to it. You may want to make a note of this because this information will be helpful while creating the network service. Again, this information will get fed in the dnsnames.ora file. I will show you the same once this process is completed. So just this option was checked. I'm going to go ahead and uncheck this option where it says create a container database and click next. Here you're going to go ahead with the default option where it creates an Aura data folder and you click on next. Again, for specifying the fast recovery area, you're going to go ahead with the default location and click next. On this page, you'll get an option to create a listener. So give it a name. And the default port will be 1521. Click next. Do not check any option on this page. Just go ahead by clicking next. Now this page is important where you need to specify the memory, sizing, character set, connection mode and sample scheme. For memory and sizing information, I would request you to refer to our documentation page because depending upon the environment that you're planning to set up, you will then need to decide on the memory and the sizing of your environment and the setup. I'm going to go ahead with the default option as I have a limitation because I am installing this software on a virtual machine which has a limited memory and RAM. So it has picked the default setting, so I'm going to go ahead with that. Sizing, again, leave it to 300. Character set, here you need to set it to UTF-8. Connection mode will be dedicated server mode. And sample schema, leave it unchecked and click on next. Again, go ahead with the default option and click next. Here you need to specify the credential for the sys and system account. System account is a default account that could be used to connect to the database. So I'm going to go ahead and set the password for them. Similarly for system. And again, it is going to ask you to put in the password for the Windows user that you had created. So go ahead and give that as well and click on next. So when you reach this page, be sure to click on the all initialization parameters and check the show advanced parameters. There are some important parameters that have been defined by BMC Client Management that needs to be set on the Oracle database. I would request you to refer to our documentation page because these parameters are version specific. I have already made a note of it on my other screen. So these are the parameters and I'm going to go ahead and show you how to set it. Let's filter this in a chronological order and it starts with file system IO option that needs to be set to set all. Let's look for that parameter. Set all and check. Then comes the query rewrite enabled option which needs to be set to false. Set it to false and check the option. Then comes cursor sharing which needs to be forced. Commit sharing, it's called commit logging. Commit logging set to batch and check it. Commit wait, set it to no wait. Few more parameters to go. Then comes open cursor which is to be set to 800. This option is already checked. Session cached cursor, set it to 2000. And DLL lock timeout to 600. That's it. Click on close and next. Click on finish and it will start installing the database. So the installation of the database is complete. You click on close. So as mentioned earlier, the TNS names.ora file will save all the information that was given during the database installation process. And this information will be required while creating the network service. So let's go ahead and create the network service. Click on start, go to the Aura database 19 homepage and launch the network configuration assistance. Click on local net service name configuration and next. Add. So pick the service name from the tns.ora file. Click on next. Next. Given the host name of the database server. Click next. Perform the test for connectivity given the username. This is the default user that connects to the database. Once it is successful, click on next. Here you need to mention a different name other than what it automatically populates because this is already mentioned in the service name creation. So I'll just gonna go ahead and add _ns and click next. Would you like to configure another network service? Click on no, next and finish. Thank you for watching the video.